opportunity for this morning to be able to be here to share what I have done so far as Minister of Marine Affairs and Fisheries of Indonesia. Regarding the vision and the missions of our President Joko Widodo to make Indonesia recognized as a maritime fulcrum and also to put the nation's future at the ocean. Very ambitious visions, but I would say it's very logical and very realistic. We all know Indonesia, more than 70% of its territory, or wilayah Indonesia ini 71% ya, adalah lautan. Only 29% of Indonesia territory is land. The border with our neighbor, 99.7% is also oceans. Our land border with our neighbor is only in Kalimantan, that's from Pontianak lines to Tawau, and then Sebanyak Island, Timor-Leste, and Papua. So the rest is all ocean. We had been 70 years being told Indonesia is a great agricultural country. It is true. We have very good and very lucky with the weather, with the geographic, enough rain, enough sun to flourish our agriculture. But the ocean is much bigger potential. The ocean is much wider. Indonesia is the second largest coastal line in the world. So the first one is Canada. So we have 97,000 kilometers length of coastal. We should able to live and flourish our coastal fisheries since the beginning of our independence. But we have been busy to plant, to grow more rice, to grow more plantations, which in one hand we lost a lot of our rainforests. That's actually supporting the good, friendly environment agriculture. So, but anyway, now I would like to talk more about our fisheries sector. So, I have been fisheries business for almost 30 years, from 1982, after I quit my high school. I had starting my seafood business, buying and selling from the fishermen to restaurant to leather and sale. And then I starting after years growing as an exporter starting in 1996. And I had been 30 years almost running my seafood business. Finally, in 1996 we can export to Japan, to Europe, to the US. But yet 2000, and suddenly we have no fish anymore left. The quantity is getting small, there's no economy scale anymore to freeze them, to send them by containers to Europe or to US or even to Japan. Because it's just no more quantity, no more raw material. We all didn't know why. While at the same time with our depleting raw material, there are also many other companies that shut down because of lack of the raw material. 115 other companies are also shutting down on the same period of time. We didn't know why. Until I became appointed as Minister of Marine Affairs and Fisheries. I'm looking at the data for the first 2 weeks. I did not start anything, just learning what is in the department. I see regulation, I see the data. Surprising, on the same period of time, we lost almost 50% of our fisheries household. So even the fishermen are decreasing. Why? Because there is no more fish to catch. The depleting resources of our coastal fisheries is one of the reasons. But we didn't know why. But then I have one puzzle that's still a big question until I was become minister 4 years ago. When I had starting Susi Air 2004, actually I was planning to move from big quantity and frozen product, seafood on export, to go into more higher value product of seafood that's live and fresh. And with lack of infrastructure in Indonesia, the only breakthrough is buying a plane, buying a small aircraft to transport. Because that's going to cut the distance of Indonesia very short. Like from my hometown in Pangandaran to Jakarta will be only an hour. But trying from 2000 to 2004 to convince a banker to buy me 2 little aircraft, it's almost big, impossible mission. Nobody believed that a lobster, a fish, shrimps, mortality rate could actually pay off the $2 million aircraft. So finally, after 4 years, I can convince a banker in Bank Mandiri to give me 2 aircraft. The aircraft arrived in November, tsunami happened in Aceh. So I thought I could go to help for a few months. I flown the plane to Medan and started flying to Malabo. Flying for free for 2 months and then finish out the cash that I brought, so I have to go home. We've flown several NGOs on those 2 months, helping several medevac evacuation the people in Aceh. But then when I plan to leave, many NGOs hold it, please stay here with us. We will pay, we will rent your airplane. So since CNN was publishing on the news that they've flown to Malabo on the 29th of December with Susi Air, everybody is looking for Susi Air in the airport. So, well, that's the name of the new charter business, Susi Air. And while I do this, Susi Air now growing from 2 aircraft to become 50 aircraft. Servicing all commuter service in Indonesia, remote area, Papua, Kalimantan, Sumatra. We connect secondary city to remote area, we connect between secondary city to another secondary city. We did every day until today about 150 to 200 flights for the commuter service. And I saw a lot of big fishing vessels at the sea out there, in the east part of Indonesia, in the central part of Indonesia, and also in the west northern part of Indonesia. That was the puzzle I tried to crack when I became minister. Seeing 115 company collapse between 2003 and 2013, and then seeing the fishermen household decrease almost 50% on the same period of time, 2003 to 2013, and then big ship around, so many out there. What's the connection? So, and I started to study also from several foreign literature, foreign articles about illegal fishing. And then, okay, all puzzle is become one piece. We have now the problem of Indonesia so far for maritime, especially fisheries. Capture fisheries is also illegal and unreported unregulated fishing that had been very massive. And why it started between that year 2000 to 2013? 2001, Indonesian government, the Minister of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, start open concession to nationalize foreign vessels to have Indonesian convenient flag to fish in our water. So before it was really illegal. And then they have an opportunity to be legal. But this organization of illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing is a big business organization. One transnational, so it's not only in Indonesia, it's all over the world. So they buy one license, but in fact when we start cracking down, we find out that one license the company buy, actually they have 10 or maybe even 20, the same color of boat, the same name of boat, the same size of boat. So they duplicate the boat. And we have discussions, several discussions in the cabinet, and also with my president. Of course, everything is all under his vision and his plan. So we decided that we have our constitution. That I think that was one of the best solutions to crack down a bad practice that had been happening for decades in our Indonesian border. So we have Constitution number 45 year 2009 that we can punish to sink every single illegal fishing vessel that catch fish illegally in our water. And we start the campaign, and I start to call all the ambassadors from neighboring countries. We have long 6 hours lunch together, and I try to explain I have a big job, and Excellency, you all understand I'm minister with the lowest education, but the biggest portfolio, because 70% of Indonesia are in my hand. So I won't be able to deliver the works appropriately without assistance and help and support from all of you. So we understand there are many mismanagement, and it's not your mistake, it's not our mistake. We want just to make it good again, supporting the visions of a big nation which has to success, because the failure of Indonesia, no one, and not the world even, will able to handle it or accommodate the failure of Indonesia. We have to beg to fail. I try to explain, you remember Syria? The population is just 7 million. Problem in the country there, it's headache for Europe, also for other parts of the world. And this 260 million population nation, if they fail, and they all migrating to, example, just quarter of Singapore, Singapore will be sinking. It's too many to accommodate. So everyone, I think, in this neighbor country has to support Indonesia to be strong, to have and control its sovereignty, and able to stand in their own feet. So please announce to your fishermen to stop catching the fish, put on the harbor or the boat, or home, the choice for you. The one that stayed, we will do assessment, and we will see what is the policy next. So many are leaving, I think 700 are left. Suddenly within a week, all harbor in this part of Indonesia especially, having so many big 200, 300, 500 cross-storage boats is coming to the port. Those never been seen. Governor from Maluku was telling me, Ibu Susi, I have served in port and never ever see any big boat at all. So they're all doing everything offshore. And well, we start the announcement also to our partner, our neighbor, that we have to start this. So the lunch was long hours, because I was thinking it's also not easy for them to hear that I will sing that they both. So, but it goes very smoothly after all the lunch done, and everybody, yes, of course, Excellency, we will support you. Thank you. So, and a press conference waiting for them to hear and write their support. So, and finally, today we have done 488 vessels with sink in Indonesian water. The first few we made very, how you call it, deterrent event by blowing it. So put the dynamite on the palka, shooting the dynamite sounds and look very, very bad. And it's worked actually. So in the last, only I think 6 months, more than 10,000 foreign vessels going away from Indonesian water. more than 10,000. And what is come up on the fisheries sector? We are very happy. Finally, 2016, Kajiskan, that's Komisi Ikan Nasional, and Santa Barbara University, and our lead research and department doing research together to count the stock assessment we do every 2 years. So 2014, our stock was only 7.1 million tons, and finally in 2016 increased to 12.5 million tons. It's a big deposit. If you just count $1 a kilo, 6.5 million ton additional is $6.5 billion. That if you calculate the price of a kilogram of this dollar. And the export of fisheries product basically constant and increase of 11 to 12% in the last 4 years. For the first time, the PDB or GDP of fisheries sector increased into above of national GDP. An average in the first, I think 2015 was 7 point something. An average now the last was 6.7% increase the GDP. So it's 20% above national GDP. Never been before. Before we always lower than national GDP. And export volume increased not that much, but the export value is increased more than before, more than 12%. The competitiveness index of fishing businesses is increased from 107 to 128. So 20% increased competitiveness. Very profitable business now, fishing in Indonesia water. Why? Because the fish is much more. The area to catch, the distance is closer, and the size of the fish is bigger. That's why the value is also bigger. So, while we're cracking down the illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, we realize also any more other hidden crimes that's actually using the vehicle of illegal fishing. Slavery in Benjina had been opening up. We helped more than 2,500 Myanmar, Laos people that had been kidnapped and worked for more than 20 years on boat without getting paid and even know where they can go home. And many other, we also find crimes, smuggling. So they also use the empty tramper or refrigerated ship coming into Indonesia water, bring from cement, plywood, any other that can be sold in Indonesia, fruits. And some of them also bring in drugs, alcohol, and many other stuff. So, illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing become a very profitable business for the people who do it, because coming back from Indonesia, they not only take in fish, but also several endangered species animals, from birds, live birds, or turtle, of course dolphin, and many other, manta ray, many other, several animals that's already endangered situations, already into the CITES. They take more endangered species, it is more expensive to sell. So it's in two ways, are both traded. So it's become very, very good way on doing business to make very good profit. And there are also some drugs coming in. We calculate in a week, in average, at least 3 to 5 tons drug are actually entering Indonesia. Because that's the amount that is needed by the numbers of addicted people, almost 5.2 million now. So, and we crack down the illegal fishing in the same time is also bringing the level of the other smuggling activity in Indonesia. And for the first time, we are very happy that GDP of Indonesia fisheries is #1 in Southeast Asia. And the purchase power of fisheries household is also increased from 104 to 112. So that means the fishermen having a better life, having much profit on doing their businesses. And of course, it's not all perfect. We still find at the moment for destructive fishing. There are still many use of dynamite, of cyanide fishing, which is done by artisanal fisheries. So here we start campaigning for all of us to also start understanding that when the buying continues, the killing will continue. So Sunu, an example, the red grouper, are mainly catch by the cyanide fishing. Ikan Napoleon, the live ikan Napoleon become a very exclusive fish that served in many restaurants. Also in Hong Kong become one of the main prime fish to be eaten in very high-class restaurant. It was very expensive. But the way they catch all these fish is using a very unfriendly fishing method. So using the cyanide or using the dynamite, exploiting the reef, and they catch the live fish, which is 70% of it will be dead anyway. So we try here to campaign with the public, with the people, other than what we have done in the fisheries, cracking down IUU fishing. We also enforce the human rights compliances on fishing business and also fisheries businesses in Indonesia. We issued that with the minister regulation in December 2016. And other than that, to move into sustainable fishing management, so Pak Presiden say, laut masa depan bangsa, the future of the nation is in the ocean. It's only possible if we manage it sustainably. We have to avoid any kind of fishing extensively and disregarding of the sustainable yield that we could or we have able to harvest. It's time to start regulating. So we also issued 2 ministerial decrees, which is ban on transshipment. Second is ban on trawl. Why we ban on transshipment? Because transshipment is basically the way the illegal, unregulated fishing doing their businesses. So why we should allow transshipment? If we have all port, we have all custom, we have Duana there. So mostly the transshipment is done is for normally illegal activity. So I try to propose this to more countries to do the same thing. Because if not, the illegal unregulated fishing will be continued. And from what we have experienced, which I would like also to share more to the international institution, that illegal unregulated fishing is a real transnational organized crime. So it's done by several states, in several state territories, and also using several nations as the crew of the vessel. The last vessel we caught in Natuna area was STS-50, in example. They have 8 flags of convenience in their vessel. So 8 flags from different countries. So basically, regarding the international regulation, when a vessel has 2 flags, it's named as a stateless vessel. So, but that's what's happened with all these vessels. The Viking had been chased by Interpol for almost 13 years. They had changed the registration almost 12 times within 6 years. And they have 25 state flag convenient. From Mongolia, Nigeria, China, Philippines, Indonesia. So they will just put the flag whenever, whatever they need. So, and the group of STS-15 example is come from 10 Russian group to 20 Indonesian. The Viking, the captain from Chile, the engineer from Ecuador, and the seaman, fishing master from Myanmar, and the seaman from Indonesia. And they load, they catch in several borders. Sometimes in Indonesia border, sometimes in Thai border, sometimes in Philippines, wherever they're convenient. And they have sophisticated equipment on their boat. They have communication tracking. They have anti-radar. They have an incredible equipment that's similar to a military vessel. So, and I tried to propose this continued in UNODC and our ocean conference, which will be happening on 29 to 30 of October in Bali. So next few days, we will have our ocean conference. We would like to share all this to rise up the awareness of international community. International community have a strong interest on ocean issues now. We realize, and the world realize more and more, that climate change will not be able to manage appropriately if we not run to also manage the ocean. The planet that we live, only 29% land, as well as like Indonesia, 71% are oceans. And I start to put the awareness that we need, if we need the ocean to be healthy for us, to continue to protect the danger of climate change, we all have to be together. One world, one ocean. The ocean is keeping up this world together. We have to start protecting the ocean. In the last 2 years, I start proposing to all international institutions to also to be considered, put into SDG 14, that ocean needs a right. Why? Because ocean is bigger than us. Ocean is bigger than the land we live. It's 71% of this planet is water ocean. And what it is worrying us at the moment, the 71% ocean, 61% of it is the high seas, where there is no jurisdiction, where there is no control, where there is no hand to reach if anything happened bad at the high seas. So we worry of our rainforest, which is just little part of this planet. We forgot the ocean is much bigger. When the Arctic is melting the ice, the sea level rising up, Indonesia will be one of the big island states that's going to affect first. From 17,000 islands that we have, 70% of it are small islands. That will be very vulnerable with the sea level rising. And if our reef, if our ocean is depleted the resources, from the quality health, the quality of the biomass, so the sea level rising up, the temperature of this, where the planet where we live is also rising up, everything will be bad for all of us. So I hope one day, if Juanda can make it happen, to propose the state island, Negara Kepulauan. So I hope all the students here know who is Juanda. Tahu tidak insinyur Juanda? Without Juanda, the ocean of Indonesia is separate every single island from each other. Because those days, the of every state, coastal state, is only 3 miles. So between Kalimantan and Java, there's only 3 miles from Java coastal, 3 miles from Kalimantan. And big in the middle is the international water. But while Juanda proposing, finally in 1982 it's become approved negara kepulauan. So our Indonesian water is connecting all islands, become NKRI. So keep the sovereignty clear that we have those EEZ, we have those resources until our EEZ. So there are skepticism sometimes because Indonesia is so big, the capacity on monitoring and surveillance so small. Sometimes people, yeah, you should work together with your neighbor country. So, and the fish is also migratory. Yeah, true. And the fish has no passport or KTP. True. But we have the territory which is approved by international rule and law. Within 200 nautical miles, when the fish is swimming there, is Indonesian resources. Nobody allowed to take within that mines. If they swim out, yes, people, it's somebody else, they can collect it. So there are skepticism and criticism that coming to me because I'm so stubborn to protect the sovereignty of our marine resources. They say, ikan itu kan tidak punya KTP, ya. Should we make KTP for fish? We cannot even handle the problem of KTP yet for us. Just to make you not feeling sleepy, so. Anyway, so. Yeah, it's clear by the rule, by the international international constitution that we all states are committed that within EEZ is a state resources, is a coastal state resources. So, but again, back to the high seas, we worry because at the moment with the way we protect our water, the shifting and the changing of modus from illegal, unregulated fishing is also much smarter. What they do, they work with the affiliated company that in Indonesia water. The Indonesian vessel catch the fish and then they transit it 1 to 2 miles above our EEZ water. That's what I mean that we have to start leaving the ocean right. So when there is such a thing happen, international community can work together to address such a problem. Because right now, everybody has a free zone in high seas to do anything. From transshipping illegal fuel, transshipping illegal drugs, and many others, including unreported, unregulated fishing. And yet, we have done good, but there's also a lot of homework to do. I hope all Wisudawan today can continue the work. I try to put legacy on public policy that's bringing good benefit for all stakeholders in fishery sector, also in the maritime sector, but there are so many homework still left. And one of the problems with the political position, there is time to go. By the next election, there will be new government, new team, but I wish all the regulation had been done so far will never be changed. If it did change, I hope the civil society who start aware that our ocean is so rich with the potential. At the moment, our export numbers is already at $5.6 billion for fisheries product, and we hope for more. The public consumption of Indonesians per capita now increased from 36 to 46 kilograms because fish is much more affordable and fish is also fresher. We aim we can increase the consumption until 80 kilograms to make a better Indonesian quality human resources. So fish is very full with omega and many other good stuff. Protein diet, that's really, for now, I think the cheapest, the easiest protein resources for Indonesia. Beef is very expensive. We import a lot of it. Also chicken is not cheap anymore, but for fish, it's affordable. And I think continue to campaign for Indonesia to eat more fish is also a job of everybody, not only me as the minister. Indonesian resources is still growing. Surplus demography almost 2% every year. It should be managed appropriately. The work of every university in this country to produce a better human resources, well-educated human resources. But of course, those education only possible with success result if the material of human resources of Indonesia is also good. If the IQ is low because of bad quality of food, of diet that Indonesians have, that will not be affecting all those good university education instrument, because the IQ will not reach the capacity of the education that's given. So, preparing children to have very good protein diet and then good instrument on education is very important. The technology is coming very fast. Globalization, nobody can stop anymore. Our demography will result to a big catastrophe if we don't appropriately manage from now. I have now Sampoerna as one of the leading on everything good quality. So I do believe this university will also produce good degree people with very good quality that will continue building, develop this nation to become a great country. We are number 3, I think, size of population big in the world for democratic country. So we have to work to prove it that this big population nation is also great on doing anything, on good governing, on managing the natural resources. And we have a big ocean with a very important renewable natural resources. Because fish, many of the marine resources are actually renewable. Renewable, it means you just need to manage it sustainably. Put restriction to make it better on reproduction, to revitalize the sources. Oil, gas, forest, it's very hard to renew them. Oil, once finished, finished. Mine is the same. But fish, if you do catch in the right season, for the right size, put back the one with egg, put back the one still small size, the fish will continue breed for you and will be more productive. But the sitting on changing the mindset of this, it will be also a hard work. The education that we still have, there are still many control of several public policy also in the old generation mindset. That's when he's talking about natural resources. Let's get them as much as we can now and sooner finish. And we all, I hope all, the adik semua, will have different mindset. Protect our natural resources and manage it with sustainable manner. So the nature will revitalize themselves. And being there a lot, productive for us to continue harvest and get that we need. So limitation, restriction on renewable resources will result one more productive resource. But it's hard to make all people believe in it. Because they think, oh yeah, you make restrictions, the business will not be good anymore. They forgot that there will be more fish there, will be more shrimps there, will be more healthy in the oceans. And it's proven. After 10,000 vessels gone from our water, Indonesia, biomass increased almost 300%. While in many other oceans, decreased 3 times faster than has been studied and assessed. And that's proof everybody can see with the satellite images. So if we are protecting and limiting our harvest, is actually benefiting more. But it's need a lot of time to convince. And this is the work of all of you. And I hope by sharing this today, I can pass the responsibility next year to all of you. And Sampoerna Foundation, Sampoerna University will guard the sustainability management that we had put as a legacy to all of you. Thank you.